Hello, my name is Rob Gertzen. I am the Regional Sales Vice President for WorldBook, and today I'm going to introduce you to our new eBooks. As you can see, I'm on the home page here of our eBooks, and we have a couple of different ways that you can search them. You'll notice that across the top here we have kind of a scanning thing here with different titles that we have, and then down below it you can scan down to see Browse by eBook series. And so that gives you an idea of some of the different things we have. If you hit this right arrow, it will scan you through some of the different series. We have a good mix of nonfiction and short stories and science fiction and some Shakespeare and all kinds of different things. So right now I just want to get you introduced to a couple of different things that we have. Here's Learning Ladders. Learning Ladders is a great series. And I want to take you right off the bat and show you our volume on Earth's features. All of our ebooks are done in EPUB 3 format, so they do not require the use of Flash, which means that they work really well on iPads. So I'm going to show you kind of the layout here. In this case, this is our Learning Ladders Earth's features. As I scroll into the table of contents, you can see it's on a lower level. However, this would be a great book for kids of all ages in elementary. As we look into the first page here on mountains, you'll notice that the layout is you have a paragraph on the top left and an illustrated drawing with some different highlighted features. Also on the bottom left, an actual mountain. But in the middle here, you'll see we have a video, and the video actually does have sound. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it on the webinar. But as I click on the video, this is actually, so you can probably faintly hear the sound on that, but just take my word for it, it works great. But this is a great supplement as students are learning about this to have that video clip. On the next page, we have volcanoes, and it's the same format. You'll notice there's another video clip here on volcanoes. And it's really cool. It just gives the kids the ability to be able to go and watch an actual volcano erupting. So throughout some of the pages, we do have videos and interactive features. I'll be able to show you one here in a minute in an animal book where you can hear different sound clips. Up here on the top, we have a little bit of a toolbar. So if I wanted to change the size of the font, I could do that pretty easily. And in this case, I don't. I just want to leave it at 100. You also can click up here on this little book-looking thing, and it's a table of contents. And then over on the far left, you'll see we have our table of contents. We also, here on the tab below the table of contents, have the ability to highlight. So if I wanted to highlight this paragraph, sorry about that. If I wanted to highlight this paragraph in yellow, I could do that, and then it would save that and show you that on page 6 I had done a highlight, and it would be able to take me to it immediately. So you could do a variety of pages here on the far left, and it would itemize each of them in numerical order so that you could go back and see the things that you highlighted. We also have the ability to bookmark pages, which I'm not going to do right now, but if you wanted to bookmark this page for any reason, you could do so. I'm going to jump ahead a little bit in the book. You can see some of the different table of content titles here. I'm going to jump up to the end of the book where it's Did You Know? And these are just trivial pieces of information as the kids have gone through and learned about the different Earth's features. As I go to the next page, we have a couple of interactive games that are pretty fun. On the far left, this is underneath a magnifying glass. You try to guess what this is. So if I click on the number 1, I would say that looks like a mountain. And then it's going to show the student or reader the actual mountain that they learned about as they went through. In the middle, we have another one that you try to guess differences between the picture, and it's kind of a fun game. And then over here on the right, we actually can match up beach and peaks, and you go through and do a little drag and drop interactive. If you accidentally do it wrong, so if I took waterfall to a volcano, it just says, uh-oh, and then allows you to try again. So you can go through and just do this fun little interactive feature and pass them off. And then on the next page, this is a really cool feature in the true-false section because as you read the question, it tells the student what page to go to if they needed to go back and look it up. And once again, you could go to the table of contents to go back to page 16. If you know the answer and you want to take a stab at it, then you could go ahead and click on true, and in this case I missed it on purpose. Rivers flow from the oceans up to the mountains would obviously be false because it would be the opposite. So you'd click on false, and you'd pass that one off and then move on to the next one. Okay, so water in the oceans has almost no salt. You would hit false because we know that oceans are made of salt water. And then over here on the right, these are some other books that kids can go to and some websites. And then at the very end, we have a nice index for students. And to close the ebook, I just go ahead and hit the red X and close it, and then I'm right back where we started. So in our Learning Ladder series, we do have a variety of titles. There's 2 different pages, but we have 20 in the series. So you can see, get an idea for some of the titles here. Under the Sea is a fun one for kids that enjoy animals, that want to learn about coral reef animals versus deep ocean animals, wild animals, dinosaurs, pets, insects, a lot of fun different things. Going back to the home page, I'm just going to click up here on the top left, and it's going to take me back where we started. Let's say that I wanted to search by keyword and I was interested in frogs. So when I type in the word frog in the search box, it's now going to take me to any ebooks that we have that have frog in it. I want to show you our amphibian series, and this is part of our Animal Lives series. This is a phenomenal set. We're going to go into amphibians here. You can see there's a table of contents. One of the things that's unique about this series is all of our titles are in a question and answer format in the table of contents. So as we get in here, you'll notice on the top left it says, what are amphibians? It gives an immediate answer, but then as you continue through the pages, there's depth that explains that more in detail. In addition, we have little sound clips. So this is the Asian horned frog. And if I click on the sound clip, I don't know if it's going to work for you guys on the webinar, but it's going to give off a sound of what he sounds like. And he sounds a little bit like a cricket. I don't know if you can hear that. But as we continue on through, we do have some other sound clips. We do have videos. We have a lot of fun different things. But you can see how incredibly visual. Look at that picture of that frog jumping across. Now let's say that you wanted to go into a one-page format. You could do that. I like, when you're on a PC or a Mac, I like to have it in the 2-page format. And by the way, you can see there's an 8-pound frog in that pan. That's pretty cool. But I'm going to go back to the 2-page format because I really like how visual they are and how the pages flow together. As we continue on, you can see there's another sound clip down here. This is for a toad, and gives off a really cool sound. And so you can see this is a phenomenal series. It's very fun for students, and there's a lot of information. There's another sound clip there that we won't go through. And then every now and then you'll come across videos. So as I'm scrolling through here, you'll notice that we've come to a video here on this frog that looks really cool, but then you can actually see him in action. Like I said, all of our videos are narrated, and I don't know if you could hear that or not, but really cool video, you know, to be able to look at that frog and then watch a video of an actual frog. We're going to go into the table of contents, jump ahead. We're going to go to the final pages. So once again, if I wanted to highlight text, I could do that. So I just go right here. If I wanted to highlight this pollution one, I could do that, and it's real easy to do. But I'm going to go back to that table of contents. We're going to jump ahead into, we already did. We're into, why are some reptiles endangered? Then the next page is how can we protect the reptiles, or in this case amphibians, I apologize. And then on the last page, we have activities, and this is where they can do an interactive quiz. So on number 1, it talks about the largest amphibian of all amphibians. You click on the question mark, and if you knew that it was the Chinese giant salamander, you'd be in good shape because that is the correct answer. But a fun way for students to go and test the comprehension of what they learn. There's a research project on the right if a teacher wanted to do something cool with their students. And then we have a glossary, other websites that kids can go to, and then a nice index at the back. So that's a couple of our really popular series that we carry. There are a couple of more, and once again, you just have to get in here and kind of browse through. I do want to show you our Building Blocks of Science. This is a phenomenal series. I'm going to take you in and show you the building blocks and matter and how matter and its properties. But these are kind of a graphic novel, and it's taking core science topics around the country, and these are, all students in the country learn about matter, but we've taken it and put it into a fun format where it's a graphic novel. So as I scroll through here, you'll see it looks like kind of a comic book, so to speak, but it's all information, and you can see these are real things that are matter. And then we go back in, and one of the things I like is the format, and you look here, it says, let's take a look inside, and you have this huge explosion on the left, but then over on the right, if you look at the bold-faced words, the student is learning about molecules, atoms, nucleus, protons, neutrons, and electrons, and these are all things that are taught in the science core. So this is another fun series I just wanted to introduce you to really quickly. We're not going to go through the entire book. You can see here there's a volcano erupting, and now they're learning about water vapor and gases and solids and liquids and all that kind of stuff. So it's a really cool series. The other way to search is if you were a student and had a high interest in animals, you can search by subject area. So if I wanted to go look at that Animal Life series that I showed you the amphibians volume in, you'll notice we've got birds, fish, insects, spiders, mammals, reptiles, and so that's pretty cool too. If you had and wanted to go and look at what we had for space, we could go look at explore the solar system, and now we're able to learn about Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and also Pluto, which is a dwarf planet. Pluto is found in this volume right here. It's Neptune, comets, and dwarf planets. And poor Pluto was demoted to a dwarf planet, but you can learn all about it in this series. And going back to the home page again, there are some features up here on the top right, and this is an area where you can create an account, and then it will store your eBooks and also allow you to download eBooks. I'm not going to get into that right now, but I will click on sign up just to show you what it looks like. And right here, that's not my username. It's storing something here, but you'd plug in your information, put whether you're a student, a librarian, a teacher, a parent, whatever, and then you go in and plug in the information, create an account, and once you do create that account, then you have the ability to go in and you can log in every time. Just you'd click on login, and I'm on a trial database, so I can't do that right now. But you'd log in, and that would give you the ability to download the eBooks, which is a phenomenal feature. And then lastly, we have a couple of classic works that are mixed in here. As you can see right off the bat here, we have Robinson Crusoe. Some other ones, we've also got The Call of the Wild. If I open up The Call of the Wild, you'll notice that this is the actual book by Jack London. And as we get into it, it's got all the chapters, and then you can just begin reading. So if you downloaded this onto an iPad, you would be able to read it just like a regular book. If you wanted to view it as a web-based browser like I'm doing right now, you just go through and scroll through the pages. If you went to the table of contents, you'd have the ability to jump ahead to chapters. So let's say that you got tired one night and left off on page 45. You come back the next day and you can start right up where you left off on chapter 4 and continue on. So there's a lot of different things here. Right now we have about 120 titles. We are targeted to have 200 nonfiction titles by the end of 2014, and we are also targeting 1,000 classic titles. So some of your Call of the Wild, Robinson Crusoe, White Fang, some of these different types of titles are going to be available soon. Right now we have a handful of them available just for the demo purposes, and we are in the process of, like I said, we will have 1,000. So a total of about 1,200 eBooks will be at your disposal. The other couple of nice features about it is you have unlimited simultaneous access, which means you could take an entire class into a lab and put every single student in that amphibian volume that I showed you, and that makes it really cool. I'll go back into the amphibians volume, but just imagine a teacher that was actually teaching a unit on amphibians and being able to put all of their students in this book at the same time, or the students can access them from home anytime they want. I think that's a great feature. So I didn't want to take too long to show this. Wanted to keep it brief, but wanted to introduce you to WorldBooks eBooks. If you do have questions, contact your local sales rep. We do have an 800 number you can call, which is 800-975-3250, and then press 1 to reach your local sales rep. Once again, my name is Rob Gertzen with World Book. I'm happy you could join us today. Thank you.